What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for joining me once again. So, I wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of what I'm trying to do because this is still pretty early on. This is only my second video. So, I'm going to be trying a whole lot of different sorts of things, a lot of different foods from everywhere. You know, last week I did Wendy's. This time I'm doing something a little bit different, excuse me. It's actually going to be Nicaraguan food, or Nica food for short. It's one of my all-time favorite Hispanic foods. I have a confession to make. I'm Puerto Rican, but Puerto Rican food it's up there as one of my favorite foods in terms of Hispanic foods, but it's not my favorite food. My mom would disown me for this if she were watching right now. So a little bit about Nicaraguan food or Nica food. There's a lot of different varieties. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different dishes that they have. What I'm going to be covering today is actually one of my all-time favorite Nica dishes, which is Carne asada, which is the best way to translate this would be roasted beef, I guess. But it's more of a skirt steak, like a churrasco, if you guys are familiar with churrasco. It's similar to that. Now, I've had this before, so I know more or less what to expect. But what I'm going to try to do for you guys is to describe it and explain to you, what it tastes like. It really got a whole lot of different seasonings from other steaks and other sorts of meats that I've tried before. It's really, really, really good, really juicy. So let me go ahead and get started. I will also be showing you guys, actually before I get started, I want to show you guys a few other things that are a bit unique to Nica food and Nica dishes. They're also can be found among other Central American cuisine. But again, this is strictly Nica food. Now, this particular food that I'm having is actually from El Rincon Nica, which roughly translates to the Nica Corner. It's a restaurant here in Hialeah. Yes, we live in Hialeah. So I'm not Cuban. But this place is really, really good. Everything that they make is just awesome. So I want to show you guys what it looks like. I want to tell you guys what it tastes like. So here we go. First and foremost, here's the carne asada, the roasted beef, although it's not really roasted. But it's got a good amount of crispiness to it. I don't know if you guys can see that. A bit better, I think. But it's got a bit of crispiness to it, but it's still very, very juicy. And again, Nica food, there's a lot of different types of things that you can eat with Nica food. They have a lot of corn-based stuff. And I will eat them. I don't have anything corn-based in particular in my meal tonight. But if you guys are interested, if you like corn and you like corn-based foods, Nica food is definitely the way to go. The steak is very, very juicy. It's crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside. How would I describe the flavor? The flavor is probably something along the lines of, it's savory, right? So that's the first thing. But there's almost like a hint of lime or orange somewhere in there, deep in there. But it's just subtle enough where it doesn't overwhelm the savoriness of it all. Definitely there are spices that are going on in there as well. I just don't know what they might be. I might have to Google this later, actually. But definitely very, very, very good. Now, I'm going to show you here another thing I already took. Do you guys see what this is? You probably can't tell, although you can tell it's fried. This is cheese. This is fried cheese. Okay, and look how delicious that looks. It's just as delicious as it looks. Let me take a piece right here. And this is actually fairly common with Nica FOOD. So, white on these. It's cheese, but it's very, very salty, very savory, very crunchy as well. Just really, really good. Got a lot of flavor. I love Nica fried cheese. One of my favorite things overall in their food. Now, they also do fried plantains, which is common among a lot of. It looks darker. Sorry, I'm still trying to work on the the lighting issues. But you know, it's very, very golden. This batch in particular actually looks really good because sometimes with this particular place's maduros or fried plantains, they can sometimes come out dry. Not always. Most of the time they look exactly how you guys see them. It's pretty juicy, it's pretty soft, and very, very sweet, which of course that's what you want. You want a mix of salty and sweet with the food, and so when you eat this fried plantain with the other parts of the food like the cheese and the steak and everything, it really, really blends well. So let me give this a try. Really, really good. Which is exactly what I expected. Again, I'm kind of cheating with this because I've had this food before. It's not my first rodeo, so to speak. Today was my youngest son's birthday, so there wasn't a whole lot of time to plan for this video today. But I figured, you know what, let's go with something that I know, that people will probably like, even if they haven't tried it before. And again, you know, a lot of what I'm trying to do here is a mix of different things, but I definitely want to include unique places, unique flavors that maybe some of you guys have not heard or seen before. So, you know, again, I did, you know, Wendy's last week, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. And listen, if you haven't had Nica FOOD, you need to try it. It's just so good. Now, the next thing that I want to show you guys here, I haven't had it yet, it's actually two things. So first is this. Now, that may or may not look very appetizing to you guys. It's actually frijoles molidos, which really, I mean, this is not the exact translation. It's probably not exact. It's not a translation at all, except for the bean part. It is essentially refried beans, Nica style. So they're not as sweet as some of the refried beans that we're used to here in the USA. It's more salty than anything, but it's so, so good. Like, it's amazing. I love their frijoles molidos. It's just so good. And then this little thing that you see here, this is called crema. They call it crema, which translates to cream. And this is kind of like sour cream. It's probably got a little more flavor than the typical sour cream that you guys might see or might have with like a taco or, you know, whatever else you might use sour cream for. And but it's very, very similar to it. But at the same time, because they make it slightly different, it's definitely got its own unique flavor. And again, I wish I knew what it is that they put into these foods that they have. I don't know what their seasonings are for sure. I just know they taste amazing. So what I like to do with this is I like to take it, open it up, of course, and I want to pour it into the refried beans. And then I will go ahead and actually, no, so from the top. So, you know, you see, I don't want to tip it anymore because then we will have an accident. But I like to take it in there and just mix it. And let me tell you something. When you try this, when you do this together, I I can't even describe it. It's just so good. So once you mix it nice and well in there, look, now you can see it's a little, well, it needs a little more mixing actually. That's better. So now it kind of looks a little bit wider, of course because of the cream, but let me just try it and tell you guys how it is. That is good. And I know I've had this before. I've said that I've had this before, but this is definitely, this worked out for this video because this is definitely one of their best batches. How to describe it? I mean, so it's, I think it's like black beans that they use, black or pinto beans, or a mix of both, I'm not sure. But again, there's unique seasoning and spices that are within this version of refried beans. And then you add on top this creamy, just flavorful crema that they use as well. And it just makes an amazing mix of flavors. Now, I don't know if most Nicaraguan people actually mix the crema into their frijoles molidos. This is just the way that I was taught to eat it. And, you know, I'm glad that I was taught to eat it this way because it's just really, really good. So I've been talking a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and just enjoy some of this meal here. All right, so that was really, really good. Again, guys, you know, I would highly advise that if you have a Nica restaurant somewhere where you can just go and pick it up and try it, I highly suggest that you do. There's really not much to say. I mean, especially if you're ever down here in the South Florida area, I do recommend visiting the restaurant that I got my food from. El Rincon Nica, again, means roughly the Nica corner. So if you ever need to find out how to spell it, just Google it in English and get Google Translate to you know get the right spelling for it. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. This was definitely one of my favorite meals so far, even though it's only my second one. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully we will see you on the next one. Take care, guys.